So the priceless question is this: how are average people like us that play by the rules, going to school, listening to our parents, having to just settle in life, working day to day to make ends meet, but how are we now making above average income, getting massive cash flow, and having the time freedom to do what we want, when we want, and how we want? That's the real question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Maurice Trimble Jr., aka The Rich Lab Rat, and welcome to Clinical Study Secrets. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Maurice Trimble Jr., Rich Lab Rat here, and welcome. Welcome to the 13th episode in this podcast. It's mainly going to be a little different because this podcast is not really going to be a podcast, essentially. What I want to be doing is I want to let everybody know that it's just a public service announcement, just letting everybody know what's going on. Monday, which will be November 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesday being November 4th, I'm going to be attending a real estate mastermind. Mr. Tony Martinez, USTLA, and a lot of you will see that information because I'm going to be putting a lot of that in the membership so you can be able to take advantage of it. I'm going to clear with Mr. Tony Martinez first, see if I can give that gift to all of you, to all my subscribers, to all my members that's going to be getting that Clinical Study Secrets membership, right? So the monies that you're going to be getting, you could be looking at utilizing that to get this great tax lien, tax deed, real estate, acquiring it for pennies on the dollar, right? Houses for taxes, all of that good stuff. Let's get back to the main point. I will be unavailable. So this Monday, Wednesday, I won't be available for the podcast. So we're going to let everybody know because I know a lot of people know that this is launch week, So before the end of the week, I'll hopefully, if everything goes well, should be getting membership up and rolling. It'll be live for people to be able to take advantage. The top 25 that I like in the United States, but also the second thing, which is the study alerts. Get those alerts coming to your phone via WhatsApp, text message, Android or Apple device, or whatever mobile device you have. And that's going to help you. It's going to help you to be able to get into the first screenings, the second screenings. That will help tremendously in terms of your study success. What I want to really talk about is leave you with a few things. I just got through watching this movie. What's it called? Let me see. Scrolling, looking at it on the actual monitor. Highest to Lowest. Denzel Washington, Spike Lee, together again in great conjunction. Also A$AP Rocky. And a host of other actors and actresses. I can't even mention them all. So many people in that movie. But highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. But of course, come on. This Denzel Washington, this Spike Lee, and many others associated with it. You already know it's going to be greatness. It's going to be greatness. All right. It's to be expected. It is really good, though. It's refreshing to see it. It's so good. But it got me thinking about some things. And highest to lowest, I wanted to answer a couple of questions because some individuals would ask, Maurice, why are you even doing this? In terms of just putting this membership out there. Not only is the information free in some cases, right? But there is a need to be filled. Don't get me wrong. There is a need. There's a lot of people that don't know about this information. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do it the correct way. And there's a ton of people that just don't understand how you can get to success every single time, Maurice, to get in studies. That's the big, high-paying studies every time. Like, you never have a loss in terms of getting in the good ones. Being within the first 5, the top 5, to usually dose in the studies and secure that, secure that bag, secure them that lab rat money, as I call it, secure that compensation and stipend. Well, I'm here to fill a need, but I do want to answer some of those questions. Why am I doing this? I think looking at, and especially looking at the movie Highest to Lowest, really got me thinking that it really boils down to, you could look at all the underlying factors, but it really boils down to one thing only usually, and that's to get back to my kids. Being a full-time dad, not having a concern about money, because you got your investments making money for you. They're working for you. Your investments, your assets, or your full-time 24/7 365 employee, right? I'm talking about that works better than AI, right? Just being real with you all. Because, you know, when you have your money working for you, making more money, this dates back to the book I read, Richest Man in Babylon. Highly suggest that book for anybody that wants to know about so forth, wealth accumulation and wealth security. That dates way back, right? This is just, to me, this is way back before Rich Dad Poor Dad and many other books alike. The Richest Man in Babylon is very, very old publication, but has so much great, because Babylon at one time was such a wealth nation. And you're talking about gold accumulation. Whew. Right? So check it out, y'all. But yeah, and looking at all in all, just to get back to the kids, I mean, having that freedom to be there, you know, when you think about it, the true gift and present is really just to be present. To be present in your kid's life, to be present in your spouse or loved one's life or whatnot, or right, to be present in your parents' life if they're still around, you know, if you're blessed to still have them. Present in your grandparents' life if you're blessed to still have them, right? Just family and all, just being present. That's really what this whole thing boils down to. It boils down to freedom, everybody. Freedom, right? I look at the movie Braveheart. Remember that? If anybody have seen it, you know, Mr. Wallace. And when Mel Gibson did that role and acted that spectacular job, at the end of the movie, I remember before he, not a spoiler alert, you know, but this movie's so old, I don't know why. Go watch it if you haven't seen it, right? But he said freedom. He yelled out freedom in the movie at the end. Man, that hits home. Freedom, right? And it's not just about, it's all types of freedom, right? I'm talking about freedom in a whole. Not just financial freedom, not just emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, not just physical freedom, just freedom, period. Just the word in a whole. We're not looking at the whole etymology of the word and just, you know, the things that's, you know, the rudimentary aspects of it, but just freedom, period. Just freedom, right? And yeah, being a dad was a good thing to me. Being around, I'm a fun dad, so like being around the kids, always having fun and stuff like that. You know, and because I remember my mom and dad being that they're not here anymore. And one thing I could say, that's probably one of the biggest pluses in that whole situation of having parents is that they were always around. They were always present, even though we don't even look at that as a gift, as a present. But to be present is huge, right? So that's just what I want to do. That's why this whole thing came about, just to be back with the kids, just to be back with them, right? My son, my daughters, just to be back. Another thing, you can never go wrong, and this would be the last thing I would say, you never go wrong by helping other people being successful. I mean, who would ever have a problem with a person of that stature who just wants to help others be successful? Have you ever thought about that? Right? How can there be any hate to that? But there's a lot of people that hate on that. I mean, there's countless people that could have made a business of this, or what I'm doing, what I'm going to be doing to help individuals. Plenty of people could have did it. I'm not the first to come up with this. But I can say, if you have a skill, if you have a talent, if you're good at something, wow, I can't believe I was going to quote that line in The Dark Knight with the Joker. And man said, Heath Ledger, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Right? But in all actuality, right, some things like Napoleon Hill talks about, right? I remember him talking about the gifts that you're born with, right? Gifts that he had a video talking about at the beginning a long time ago. I remember where he's talking about these envelopes you're given, right? And some are gifts that you have earned, I think it was, and some were gifts that you're born with, right? But when he's talking about this, it's like, yeah, you can never, some of these things are priceless. I mean, a lot of us would charge, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of investors alike, well, mainly talking about business owners here, a lot of entrepreneurs, we come up with something like with Russell Brunson's camp, all the funnel hackers in the world, all the offer hackers are people who would come up with offers, deals, have businesses that can help people, bring value to your life, right? Some of these things is the price that they put the price that way, and I put the price that way just because you can have some skin in the game, right? So you could say that you did something, that you took part of it to put in on it in some kind of way. Because some of these things are priceless. Like, we don't even have to share this information. We could just use it for ourselves. That's why when you see so many people winning, making so much, not just money, but just influence in the world, they don't even have to share anything on a philanthropic, on a humanitarian aspect. If they do, that's a good thing. There should be no hate on that, right? So just keep that in mind. If anybody ever asks you, like it's been asked to me countless times, why? Why do you do it? Like the Matrix. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you do it? Why keep fighting? Right? That part was hilarious. Sorry, y'all. I'm a movie buff. I'm an actor, so pardon me. But yeah, literally, why you keep doing it? Well, that's a good answer. You could probably provide for them. All right? What is your why? Mine is my kids, to get back around them full time, all the time, real soon, right? And I'll always be there. Never leave until God takes me away, of course. And the other answer to that would be helping people. How can you do wrong with that? You're just giving back to that which is given to you for so long, right? And if it's in your wheelhouse to have these talents, to have these skill sets, to have this admiration, the passion, to want to help individuals, why not? Right? I say go for it. That's what I'm doing. So that's why I'm doing it. Right? Those are the two reasons. I hope you all have a great day today, great blessed day, productive day. I know it's almost coming to an end as I'm recording this podcast. It's later in the afternoon. Time has went back, so of course our days are now shorter, right? And the nights are longer. Well, the nights come earlier, nighttime. So, but daylight savings time being today. But with that being said, yeah, folks, I look forward to it. Everything should still be on schedule. I do have the legalities to work out at the end of the week, right? Getting the text alerts on point with that, making sure everything's good with the trademarks, LLCs, all that stuff, the legal stuff. You got to do that before you get it out to the world. But because once you get it out, it should be like an avalanche effect. This comes on, it just floods. Nothing stops it. Monday, Wednesday, no podcast. Friday, we'll be back on schedule. And before the end of the week, if not next week, we'll be full throttle. Put it out there live, and you'll see a ton. Don't worry, you'll know about it. Anyone that follows me, you'll see a ton of social media information. You'll see a ton of Google ads, probably my ads that I have maybe directed to you if you fall in that category, or any other category. The algorithm will decide that, right? But a ton of ads out there. Google ads, a ton of YouTube ads, a ton of socials ads all over the place. And then, of course, the organic traffic. I'll be reaching out to a lot of individuals who I know, who know me, seeing if they want to take part in that. Like I said, these study alerts, these knowing the study facilities, these knowing all the information about the study, all the updates about what's new, it can help those that are seasoned vets doing this as well, things that they might not know. So these study alerts, the membership could be for everybody, right? But I'll let y'all determine that. My job is to just put it out there and to help people. With that being said, I'm signing off. Have a good day. Have a good, blessed week, y'all. Right? And stay too blessed to be stressed. Always obsessed with success. And we always say smile, say cheese. I'll show you how to get that cheese. Peace. You want the secrets to clinical study trials? Then go get my free Clinical Study Secrets guide at clinicalstudysecrets.com. Inside this guide, you'll see me crush the 12 false beliefs that hold people back in life. But you'll also discover how to become a rich lab rat so you too can escape the rat race.